All right, so I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update on this truck. Not much has changed, if anything. Um, all that I've done to it is grab some penetrating oil, soak down some hardware, just some random stuff that I know will be taken apart. However, let me zoom out so you guys can see this and my hands a little better without taking up 90% of the camera. Anyway, so what I'm gonna try to do to this truck, a lot of you guys know that I was planning, I am still planning to build a 351 Windsor for this truck. Just cause I think it'd be pretty sweet in this thing. However, I want to try something first. I'm not entirely convinced that what's actually broken in this engine is a complete connecting rod. Mainly because all the damage that I can tell from the outside is only to the oil pan, the oil pan on this side of it. So maybe I can get under there. I actually might be able to. Well, anyway, I noticed there was a huge crack and out along the side vertically. So I filled it with some JB Weld steel stick just to hold oil in it so it wouldn't roach it, because I still needed to move it at the time, and also so it wasn't staining my driveway and the asphalt next to my old house. So as bad at the time. As you can tell, well, actually all that oil is from a bunch of smog stuff that I took off and disconnected, which will have to go back on to go with this plan. But what I'm going to try to do is, since I have another 351 Windsor, I'm going to tow this to where I am right now at some point. This isn't going to happen right away. It'll happen sometime in the next few months. But I'm going to try to swap over a crankshaft, some pistons and connecting rods. And we're just going to put new gaskets on this engine, clean it up, try to make it, drivable again. And the only reason I have the thought that I can do this is because anytime it would run, it was imbalanced. Obviously, because there's one cylinder that's not doing anything. But if it was able to run and there was a piston stuck down with a connecting rod or anything, it would bind up. And also, whenever I would crank this thing over with the coil lead unplugged, it sounded just fine. It sounded like there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. I have that in another video, which you'll have to scroll through. It was another update. It was after I got the motor unseized. But yeah, and I also drained the oil from the truck, which might be that tiny spot right there. I don't remember. It's really hot, so my memory isn't great, because hot. But I drained the oil and I tried to get a view of the inside, and with my little shitty borescope that I got off the TikTok shop, there was this object right above the drain plug, and it seemed like it weighed just about the same as a rod cap. So what I'm thinking is a piston is stuck up in the bore while the cap is at the bottom of the pan, meaning there could be zero damage to the block. All of it is to the crank, a rod or two, which I have, like I said, a new crank and rods. Okay, new. I have a different crank and rods, which will obviously get new rings. The entire thing will get new rings and bearings. I'm thinking I can just swap it all over and have, well, a running and driving truck again. It does run, well, not good. It does drive, not good, because it can't run good. But I'm thinking that until I can get the $7,000 saved up for this, Maybe I dump about $450, $500 in parts into this thing and just see what I can do. Worst case scenario, I get it towed back here. I already have the motor out of it. I put everything into my other unit that's holding all of my stuff. So you might have been seeing that Mercedes van the whole time. I apologize. But it's a shot in the dark, but I think we could do it. Will there be a little bit of metal missing from the block? Maybe. There's a chance. But it's a high risk, it's a possible high risk, high reward situation. I just gotta get some money for a tow truck, get some money for parts, and we might be able to have this truck running and driving again for a grand total of, not including any of the tools I've bought, $1,700 to $1,900, and that includes the truck and the spare 351. So did I buy a piece of crap? Maybe, but I've always wanted a brick nose. It's a 3/4 or 1 ton truck, single cab, long bed, manual, so ignore that thing. So I think even if I have to spend some money to have it running and driving again, I think I got the best starting point I could get. I know I've probably said that 20,000 times. I'm trying to justify this, but yeah, so I've always wanted one of these trucks. I didn't care if it was an F-150, F-250, F-350, or Bronco. I've always loved these. And, well, either way, it makes it all worth it. I mean, and honestly, in the end, I'd probably be spending that much money anyway building a motor for it. So it all works out. It all works out. But yeah, so I think I'm going to get maybe some videos of this so I can get you guys some different content. And, well, maybe different. I don't know. But yeah. Things I do have lined up for this truck. I have some ATs to go on it to replace these Hancooks and the singular trailer tire. I think these are more of a highway tread, I would say. So yeah, and along with the new tires that I've got for it, at some point I'll do brakes and ball joints. They're not too bad. Honestly, the pads still have plenty of life left. If you ask me, I've looked at them. They're just fine. The drums, I don't know. I'll take a look at them. Yeah, I'm thinking someone had too much fun with this truck, which I guess is possible. And they didn't want too many burnouts, and because the rear tires are pretty junked. And I'm thinking that's what finally blew the motor. So anyway, at 132,000 miles in the state it's in, I'll take it. So anyway, I'll see you all sometime, maybe with an update. Definitely, whoops, this thing keeps shutting down on me. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. My phone's too hot. Yeah, thank you all for the support and everything. It's rough, but I think it's a diamond in the rough. So anyway, I'll see you all next time.